that I was just like, dude, I trust Dean's judgment. If he kicked him off, they're probably so insufferable. I don't want to engage with them.
Edna, I destroyed Edna yesterday. So I know who Edna is. I've talked to them maybe like 3 or 4 times before, like specifically as it related to trans individuals. So I saw them in my queue. I brought them up. Then I specifically said, prove to everybody watching that you don't spend 100% of your time hyperfixated on 0.5% of our population and demonstrate one reason why you support Trump unrelated to trans individuals. And they literally couldn't. They were literally incapable of doing so. And then even midway through the conversation, I said, for all intents and purposes of this discussion, I will grant that being trans is wrong, and I will grant that the TERFs have won and generated good outcomes for America given Donald Trump's transphobic policy. If this is all in a larger fight for women's rights, how do you feel about these overruling concerns that further regress women's rights related to restricting access to abortion, or the fact that Donald Trump is the antithesis of everything that they accuse trans women of being? They also didn't have a response to that. Yeah, they got absolutely embarrassed. What is going on, Rob? Do you support Trump?
I do. I was in here earlier, and you said I was a pussy for not joining back in, so I'm back.
Well, I didn't use that language, Rob, but I appreciate you for
Well, pretty much.
So why do you support Trump?
So I'm in the military, and I support his ideas on not taxing the military because I work my ass off and I feel like I deserve the fucking money I get. So yeah, I think a lot of his policies.
Do you make over 130 a year?
Supported me. I do not. Like I said, I'm 19. I don't make 130. I fucking wish I do.
Well, you'd pay more in taxes then, on a net basis.
Yeah, but he's not taxing the pay that I get from the military, is what I'm saying.
Well, he said last week that he was considering it. So he actually did say that. But I have a question. If Qatar bribed you with $3,000 per year to break the oath that you took when you joined the military, would you take it?
I mean, $300K a year is pretty nice.
I said $3,000 per year.
Oh, no, I would not.
Would you say that anybody that would take that bribe would be a traitor to the country?
Well, there's specifics. If
like another country specifically bribed you and paid you money to break your oath into supporting our upcoming constitution. If somebody did accept that bribe, would that make them a traitor?
Yes.
Okay.
I served in that.
Yeah, well, this is essentially what I'd say to be true of you, right? So, like, given that he does make it so you don't pay any taxes, this is essentially a bribe to make you break your oath. Because I think that you're breaking your oath by supporting Donald J. Trump. Could we agree that if you were...
I joined before Trump was a president.
I know, but you're breaking your oath today by voicing your support for him. Could we agree that your oath would compel you to not support anybody or any entity, any organization, etc., and which is an active threat to the American Constitution?
What do you mean by that?
Stop chewing the gum. Take it out. I think I gave like all like I think I clarified on my question to a sufficient level. Would you be breaking your oath that you took to uphold the Constitution if you were to support an individual, an entity, or organization that serves as a threat to the Constitution or even wants to abolish it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, here's a screenshot of Donald Trump explicitly calling for.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Here's a screenshot of Donald Trump. Oh, sorry, the TikTok UI updated, so I actually don't even know where.
Well, essentially, Donald Trump called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Yeah. So based upon this exact same standard that you just agreed to, well, you shouldn't support Donald Trump. Because then you'd be breaking your oath.
Looks like TikTok, the UI updated, so I don't even have access to my pictures anymore. But okay, great. Anyways, Donald Trump explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution, meaning that you are breaking your oath by supporting him, and meaning that by taking the bribe of additional income via no tax on your income through the military set forth by him, you're a traitor to this country.
But his actions have supported the Constitution. I mean, with trying to fucking get illegals out of the country, he's done less than Obama, so your support on
undocumented immigrants, and also he's literally deported people without due process, detained people without due process, right under his administration's policy. That is not what Obama did. Like you have to make a huge distinction.
But also, the way that he's been getting the undocumented immigrants out of America has been in direct conflict of the Constitution, and it's not me saying this; it's SCOTUS saying this. On April 10th, 2025, SCOTUS ruled that the Trump administration's deportation of Abrigo Garcia was unconstitutional. unconstitutional, and the Trump admin did not give a shit. 2 weeks later, they gave a preemptive ruling that he was not giving due process to Venezuelan immigrants in northern Texas that he was deporting under the Alien Enemies Act, and he didn't give a shit. I mean, he's broken withholding orders forbidding the removal of individuals from one state to another state, and he doesn't give a shit. I mean, it's been a huge ongoing issue with Donald Trump violating the Constitution to get his mass deportation done. And it's so funny that this happens to be the one thing that you bring up that apparently demonstrates support for the Constitution, since this is the biggest thing he's done in his second administration that he's done that has violated the Constitution.
I love the way you debate, bro. You just raise your voice, and including Parker. I got respect in your beliefs and certain beliefs, but you and Parker have a reoccurring thing to fucking raise your voice above other people, including Charlie Kirk. I support a debate, and I'm here to learn, and I'm here to potentially change my mind, but the way you guys debate is actually fucking disrespectful in so many ways, because you just raise your voice above other people. It's hilarious.
I don't even think...
Genuinely, would you like a tissue? Would you like a Kleenex?
Okay, that's disrespectful, Parker. That's what
I meant to that. I meant that. I hope it is. I really genuinely like, dude. Like, I'm sorry if that's really not a big deal, bro. Engage with what I have to say, bro.
And then also, I just want to say,
no one's yelling at you. Like, he was literally just trying to be able to get out his point, and you were speaking over him, bro.
And then also, I just want to say,
because he does the same thing to other debaters. He does the same thing to other debaters all the time.
Just want to say real quick, Rob. I agree with you. At times, I could be incredibly disrespectful to my guests. In fact,
I've watched a lot of your debates.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like right now, I even have like a week ban on my main account because of how disrespectful I've been to some of my guests. But in this conversation, I've actually been pretty respectful. So I don't understand where the tears are coming.
In this conversation, this is the first time I've ever like even seen or heard you not fucking just go to another level.
So you broke our debate, and now you're like breaking down about how I've treated other guests before you. But even though I'm being respectful to you,
because it shows you as a human being.
It just kind of seems
which
like
is very important in your debates.
This just kind of seems like you're running away from the points that I made because you can't refute them. If I'm going to be honest.
Okay, make a point, and I'll learn.
Yeah, for sure. You're breaking your oath by supporting Trump because he's explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution and violated it 5 times since his presidency begun, as well as the fact that he launched the largest internal attack on the American democracy and the civil rights and liberties, particularly that of Americans voicing their vote for the president when he tried to steal and rig the election in 2020. And then admitted to it in court.
Okay. Well, I can't really, leave the military, or I'll kind of get, arrested.
We're not asking you to leave the military. We're just saying that you're breaking your oath by being in the military and supporting Trump. The way to resolve this conflict of you being a traitor would to be in the military and not support Trump.
All right. What other stuff you got?
Well, like that's the point of this live is like, if you don't support Donald Trump, that's the point. We're trying to get you to not support him.
Yeah, but all I've heard is that the military and the Constitution. But
he's saying that he violates the oath that you made to the Constitution.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the Constitution should be important to every single American. Upholding the Constitution should be important to every single American. But it should be even more important to you because unlike every single American, you've explicitly taken an oath to uphold it. And now you are explicitly voicing support for a presidency. Can you
go into more detail of what is done against the Constitution, other than...
Sure. So I went
called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
Right.
Or we can point to his illegal deportation of Abrego Garcia, or we can reference specifically, what's it called? In terms of his illegal things, he wants to put people in prison for a year for burning the American flag. That's a violation of the First Amendment, according to the Supreme Court.
1970. I mean, I've already said all this.
So that's a point.
Parker, I appreciate you for repeating it. That's very kind of you. But
if you're burning the American flag, you're already against the Constitution.
Okay, so you could argue that somebody that's burning the American flag is voicing their support against the government of the country that we're in. That's fine.
Yeah. But First Amendment, right?
But that doesn't mean that thereby a constitutional an infringement upon their constitutional rights would be justified. If anything, that's just justifying their action of burning the American flag. Think about it, man. If you want to throw people in jail for burning the flag because of their protest to the government, well, seemingly what we're saying here is that if you protest the government, we should be able to violate your constitutional rights. And isn't the idea of protesting that idea on its own justified? Meaning that them burning the American flag would be justified?
I don't know.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, but I have a different view on it because I feel like, yeah, you got your First Amendment right, but you don't need to burn the American flag, the country that I joined the military for, to, view your point.
Okay,
or put your point forward.
fine, you could say that. Okay, but we're just debating that you shouldn't be able to violate the constitutional rights of people that burn the American flag.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right.
I see what you're saying.
So then that would be a constitutional violation, which is unjust that Donald Trump ran on, meaning that you shouldn't support him. He's a threat to it, man. Let's face the facts here.
Okay. Well, like I said, I mean, he's obviously done some really insane things, like with your point on him going into the pageant and preying on fucking teenage women. I mean, he's a grown-ass man. That's very insane to do that. And I do think he has done some questionable acts, but so has Biden. And
he didn't run against Biden.
Kamala,
he ran against Harris.
I believe. Yes, but I believe Kamala Harris actually tweeted that she.
Rob, I have a question. Actually, would you support Donald Trump if he went up to a 5-year-old girl and he said he would be dating them in 15 years?
I'm gonna guess and say that you're gonna bring up facts that he said that. So
I'm just asking. Would you still support him, given that that's true?
But he actually didn't say that. We're giving you I'm giving you an example of hypothetical.
Probably not. But
No.
Kamala.
Okay,
also,
so would you support him if he went up to a 10-year-old girl and he said he'd be dating them in 10 years?
No, I mean.
Oh, well, he did say that.
TMI. No, I'm not gonna say it. Anyways, it's about my parents. They're 15 years apart. So, but
when did they meet?
I was like 10, so about 9 years ago. So.
Oh, how old are they?
My dad is almost 60 and my mom is like 40.
Okay.
45. Anyways, Kamala also has tweeted that she was very good friends with Diddy. I don't know if she's.
Oh, should that be a red line that we hold against her?
But we're talking about red lines. You related red lines.
Should that be a red line that we hold against Kamala Harris?
But you're talking about red lines that we hold against Trump. So what
I know.
Is the difference?
Should that be a red line that I hold against Harris?
Yes. I mean, if you're supporting the acts of a person who did some unspeakable acts.
Working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good
All right.
guy?
I don't want
All
to
right,
answer
bro.
that
Oh,
question.
wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
I am a very strict and focused businesswoman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
That's
Is
crazy.
he a good
That's
guy?
crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't want to answer that
Oh,
question.
wow. I think he's...
Yeah, that's a crazy fucking clip. That is a crazy fucking.
Or like what he said about Epstein, that he's a terrific guy and that he likes beautiful women as much as he does, many of them on the younger side.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think in your guys' debates with Charlie Kirk and Buck Angel is a trans man who was a woman. He was I don't think I'd say it. He did sexual content. But he even doesn't support things like going into other genders' bathrooms. going to
What?
boards.
Are you telling me that Buck Angel uses the women's restroom?
No, I'm saying he doesn't support that. He doesn't support the actions.
So what restroom does Buck Angel support themselves going into?
Well, I don't know what restroom he goes into. Yeah, I didn't really
What
have
restroom
interest
do
in what
you think
restroom
he should go
fucking
into?
partakes in.
What restroom do you think he should go into?
He looks a lot like a man. So
He
Because he is a man.
Because he is a man. More
he
than
was a
man.
woman though. He's not a man. He's a
That's
he's
not.
a
That's
woman.
He's
not,
a man.
That's not technically the way it works. I don't honestly.
He is.
Yeah,
I know
sure
how
it
you guys
works.
view trans people, but he is a woman. He has female.
Okay, I have a
bones.
question. If you wanted to have sex with Buck Angel, would you be straight or gay?
I would never have fucking sex with Buck Angel.
I said if you wanted to, would you be straight or gay?
I don't even. I don't know how to answer that.
Answer the question.
I mean, if I saw him on the street, I would be gay because he looks like a man. But I'm not gonna
Wait, so you're saying it's gay to fuck women?
Bro, you're just
He's such an idiot, dude. He's such an idiot.
how?
Dude.
He looks like a man, right? Okay, I'm not even gonna get into this. I'm not gonna. That's crazy. That's a crazy fucking topic to bring up. But he looks like a man. Okay?
Dude, this guy
So,
got cooked.
I would probably not.
Dude, how
fucking-
do you even just like how do you even just like exist after that without just realizing what just happened, bro? How are you not so embarrassed out of your mind?
You know,
Because that's gonna be on TikTok,
Because
and on
you're asking
Twitter,
if
and
I would-
on and everywhere after. That
You're
kid's probably gonna
asking
get
if I would
millions of
fuck a
views.
dude. You're asking if I would fuck a dude that looks like a man. Okay. If I just saw him on the streets, I had no idea who he was, and he was a man, I would not fuck him because he obviously looks like a dude.
no,
all right.
everything you know about Buck Angel right now. If you wanted to sleep with Buck, would you be gay or
But
straight?
he has civil ideologies. I support him. I support.
If
I
you
don't
wanted
care
to
if you're
sleep
trans
with
or
Buck,
gay.
would you be gay or straight? With everything that you know about Buck
Dude.
right now.
Know about him, I would be straight because he's a fucking. He has fucking female genitals.
Dude,
He has female genitals,
Dude.
correct? He has female genitals, correct?
Well, I don't think we know.
He has female genitals, correct?
I don't think we know.
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we know.
You know who Buck Angel is?
Yes, I know who Buck Angel is. I don't know if Buck Angel has female genitals or not. But listen, so let me get this. let me get this one straight. Let me get this one straight. If I would be straight, if I were to engage in intercourse with Buck Angel, what the hell would make me gay?
Well, he's got fucking female genitals, right?
So
And he looks like a man.
once again, we don't know what genitals Buck Angel has.
He has literally said he has female genitals. He's literally said that on a fucking
Okay,
debate
so-
with Charlie Kirk.
So he has attested to the fact that he has not undergone sex reassignment surgery.
He's taken male hormones, right?
Oh,
and he's comfortable in his body now to be a man.
Okay, so in other words, I listen, man. Here's the thing, though. I don't think that it's just genitals on its own in which would define a sexual orientation and or a sexual attraction. Like I want to make that one
Okay.
clear. Like I
And
think
that's your opinion.
I think that genitals can play a big role, but I don't think that genitals are going to be like the only defining characteristics of like sexual like intercourse and the determination of one's sexual orientation. Like I would like to make that one clear, but maybe we could stop talking about some random dude's genitals.
Yes, that would be
that'd
preferable,
great.
honestly.
So
Yeah.
why do you support Trump?
I don't know. I was below 18 when I could vote. But I guess you could say that I supported more stuff that he has proposed than Kamala. And
Come on.
it doesn't matter how you say it. I'm going to say Kamala because that's what it looks like.
I think okay. Are you selling us that Republicans are so fucking stupid that they don't even know how to pronounce words?
Holy shit. I'm going to just say Harris, okay? Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Am I saying
yes, sure.
am I
You
saying Harris?
could say Harris all you
Okay.
want. Take it away.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just I don't know. Like I said, I'm open-minded.
I don't
would
know.
like-
I think if you were open-minded, then you would have stopped supporting Donald Trump the moment you conceded that if you support him as a member of our military that's taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, he'd be a traitor. Do you self-identify as a traitor?
Well, I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
If Trump literally strikes Iran, would you still support him?
If he strikes Iran.
Yeah, like if he using the U.S. strikes Iran, would you support him?
Yeah, considering also adding on the fact that Iran said
If
that they'll
Iran-
strike back on U.S. military bases in the Middle East, meaning that you'd have servicemen and women that are your brothers and sisters that would die. So
I mean, if Iran implemented violent acts against the U.S., then
but that's
Yes.
but that's not what Parker asked you, nor is that what's happening in reality, because he's now already authorized plans to strike some of their nuclear facilities without any aggression from Iran towards America.
He hasn't ruled out dropping a tactical nuke.
Wait, really? Is that?
Yeah,
is that an update?
They haven't ruled out dropping a tactical nuke.
Oh Jesus, fucking hell.
That's a little extreme. That's a little extreme. I think
It is.
Yeah, they might use a nuke to prevent them from getting a nuke or in utilizing it.
I'm getting Hiroshima vibes, but I think I don't know. I would like to hear why you support Kamala over Trump, so that I can learn. I know
Kamala
I'm
over Trump.
Sorry, man.
Harris.
Sorry, man. It's like, okay, the election was in November. Me and Parker can both like spitfire like a billion reasons why that is the case. But the election was 6 months ago. Like, fucking hell, have a conversation with us about the president because you couldn't. Unfortunately, we are going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here.